All right, so for 1D, we're taking a look at writing to files. Just want to show you something. You notice that here we can say add a new file. So if I enter into project mode, I'm not sure if it'll happen automatically anyways. Let me just test first. So first of all, it looks like we're going to be adding a name several times. So it looks like that's probably going to have to happen inside of our while true statement, because we're asking to get several names every time the program is run. So I'm going to want to open my file. So I'm going to say, maybe we'll call name file. I'm going to assign a variable name file. I'm going to open a file which we're said should be called usernames.txt. And we can open that to either write, W. We can either write it to add, to append, which when we write to a file, it erases what was previously on it. Append will add to the file and read if we want to read from a file. So let's say that we want to erase what was previously there. So we'll write over what the contents were and only include the text from this one program being run. So that file is now open for use. After I've grabbed the person's name, we're going to take our name file, and I'm going to write the person's full name, and we'll put it in uppercase. And what's supposed to happen is this kind of gets written to a buffer, and it actually isn't it's not supposed to be written to the file until we close the file. So we want to close the file after we've exited our loop. We're not using the file anymore. So I'm going to say, what was it called? Names file. Names file.close. I'm going to close that file, and when the file gets closed, that's when the text is actually supposed to be written, even though we've appended it, or we wrote it here in line 19. What that does is it writes it to a memory, to a buffer, or writes it to a memory, and then it doesn't actually get pushed to the file until the close function is executed. Let's just try running that. What is your name? I'll say it's John. Welcome, John. What's our first integer? It's a 4 and then a 9. Play again. Let's say yes, and it'll be Mike, and we'll go from 9 to 2. Play again. No. What? Name error. Names file is not defined. Names file.close. It's just name file. Let's run that again. John, 9, 2. Yes. Mary, 8, 3. No. All right, thanks for playing. So presumably it's happened, but we don't see the file. So that's why I wasn't sure about. We need to enter project mode. I'm going to say add new file. I'm now entered project mode, and this will now allow files to be written. I could, if I wanted to, I could add another file and call it usersname.txt. Let's just try running it. I think it'll run it. It'll create it for itself now. What is your name? Martha. Numbers 8 to 3. Let's do it again. Mike, 9 to 4. No. Oh, and we see instantly usernames.txt just appeared. If I click in there, I get Martha and Mike. Not exactly what I was hoping for, because it's kind of hard to differentiate between the names. So what I need to do is, after I have written the name, print upper. At the end of that, I'm going to add a carriage return /n. If I run it now, it'll be Jane and Jude. And now when I take a look at my usernames, what? Oh, it's just slow. Jane and Jude, what? Print. Oh, I'm printing it. I added that to the wrong section. In the file name, where I'm writing to my file, plus quote. Now when I run it, Mike, now got her on different lines. Okay. Yeah, note that here I can come to a file, I can rename it if I wanted to, and I can also delete the files. I could add a new file here. I could rename it. This is going to be, my data file. So that's how we can work with these different files inside of Replit. We don't need that. I'll just get rid of it. Delete. Okay. Let me know if you got questions.